What's up, everybody? Welcome Tuesday with Tom. It's the last Tuesday before Christmas. So, welcome to TikTok. What's up, everybody? Over here, YouTube. I hope y'all are having an amazing day. And Facebook fam, what's up? What is up? Happy Tuesday. I am excited that it's man, the new year's coming quick, and I'm here for it. I am here for it. So welcome everybody. What's up? What is up? Melissa Diaz in the house. In the house. Nope, that's too bright. Trying to get the light just right. Gotta hydrate. Welcome TikTok. Happy Christmas Eve. Happy Christmas Eve. It's you guys are probably all busy doing a bazillion things before Christmas, and it's such a busy time of the year. And so, how y'all doing? Are you taking time for yourself? Are you behave to yourself? I think I'm doing pretty good this year. I feel like that staying busy, but in a good way, not anything that feels too crazy. But I guess that just depends on how you look at it, right? So, welcome everybody, Tuesday with Tom. I'm so glad that you're here and choosing to spend a little time with me on this. It's beautiful here in Oklahoma City. For this time of year, it's crazy that we're experiencing such warm weather. It's 70 something, 75 and sunny. And so that's definitely my type of weather. I will take it all day. And I love being able to see the sunshine. And so, yeah, that's my type of deal. I don't know how y'all do it where it's cloudy and dreary most of the time. I don't think I could do it. I don't think that's my jam. I don't think I'd like it. So, but we all deal with it, I guess, no matter what. So, anyway, so welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. Tuesday with Tom. I'm so oh yeah, Ashley, it's so hot, isn't it? Holy moly. Yeah, it does not feel very Christmassy when it's this temperature. That's for sure. So I think that definitely makes it feel less Christmas when it's so hot, because here normally it's cold, and but I know like Michigan and somewhere of those states up north and northeast have had a lot of bad cold winter or cold weather, and a lot of snow and stuff already. So they could keep all that. So I don't want none of that over here. So, but yeah, it's been nice. So Tuesday with Tom, welcome in everybody. Thank you so much for being here with me on today. This is the last Tuesday before Christmas, and I just can't believe it. Abby, welcome in, and Ashley, officially welcome in. It's good to see you guys. I pray that you're feeling good. So we're just gonna kind of do a little quick check-in, see how y'all are doing. This is such a hectic time, and it feels like there's so many responsibilities and so many things to get done and things that we want to do that it can feel very overwhelming. And so anyway, I pray that you guys are doing good, and being able to say no to the things that you need to say no to. So, hey, Aaron, what's up? What is up? Merry Christmas to you and all of you guys. I'm so glad that you jumped on here with me for a little bit. Um, I am so excited. I've got so much to share with you guys today. Just there's been so much going on that the end of this year, man, has just been uh, full, full and busy and all the things. So I thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And Rachel's in the house. Speaking of Florida, welcome, welcome. And Rachel, I hope you got my message this morning after not responding back to you for a while. so, uh, uh, Rochelle, welcome in. Welcome in. So, y'all, so much is happening over here. I can't wait to just tell you about it because this really is a brag on God more than a brag on me. So hopefully you know my heart. But so not I don't even know. Just a few weeks ago, it feels like I started doing publishing and really deciding that's what it was going to be is that and started really being more. Hey Tasha, welcome. Thank you, Abby. That's good to hear. So this publishing company is just gotten started and so I'm already learning so much. I'm just so thankful to God for the lessons. That really is a blessing to me because we can't learn until we go through stuff. So uh, it's been so exciting. But so uh, I'm so excited, y'all. This week, Sunday and yesterday, so Sunday and Monday, I helped to publish two books. So two books, they were finished and they went to the printers to be reviewed for their standards. And so two books went out this week to be published. And so be looking for those. I'm not going to disclose who and what they are yet because that's not me to do. But I did want to just share that exciting news with you guys. So three books already by three books this since just September really October I've been able to help publish and get them out and so it's such an exciting blessing because um, these authors are choosing to share their stories, and so I get to read them first, and I get to go through them first, and there's so many different topics and so many different things, and so it ministers to me, and I get to see that and help them. And one of our other inner circle sisters, she basically did everything, but I helped her kind of her and I were teasing. I helped her kind of push the baby out. I was there in the delivery room and got her over the finish line. So that's kind of the fourth book, I guess. So 3.5 maybe. But it's so exciting that the way God is moving and doing these things. And so because of my yes. So it's giving God your yes. Sometimes you might think it's scary, or you don't understand the whole process always, or why we go through things. But there's a reason, there's a point to it, and so I was just overwhelmed in a good way. Just so thankful that that I get to do this, but it's there's a lot that goes into it, and so giving God your yes doesn't mean, okay, God, I'll get to it when I have time. This is such a busy time at work, my full-time work. And it's, there's a lot going on and lots of responsibilities and lots of people wanting things and for us to help do things. And so it's a lot. It takes a lot out of me. And, when you have to be at 100 all day and it's a lot. And so then I come home in the evenings and been working on all this stuff and spend hours in here doing this and tweaking and uploading, re-uploading, and just making sure that things are perfect. And uh, that's what that's what giving God your yes is. And so I know Tasha is on here, and a lot of you guys are doing that and going through those things where uh, it is like having two jobs. But this morning when I had just left home and I was driving, and just since I drive so much, I say that to you guys all the time, but um, I just worship so much and I pray a lot, and even on the go. And there are some times where I do have to turn off the music and just you know take that breath and say, God, help me to hear you. But this morning when I was driving, I just praying and just thanking God for just all the blessings and all the things that's been happening. And it really is Amos 9:13. And y'all, sometimes Amos 9:13 season is work, y'all. You're still busy and you're going, and right, because blessing upon blessing, it's a blessing, but it is, you're working and you're doing and you're going. And so but this morning when I was praying as I was driving, um the Holy Spirit so beautifully just spoke so what I needed, because um there are some things that have happened this year that I didn't understand, but I knew that there was a purpose. I knew there was a point, but it hurt. I didn't, and so it's that growth. It's that growing phase that we don't always understand. And so um I have, the job that I have, I've worked in this industry for 11 years. And so have been blessed to work myself up to, certain positions and be able to do certain things. And so I'm going to bring this around, trust me, but I want to give you a little backstory because just to be able to share with you how God is. And so I worked for this company for a long time. And like I said, I was able to grow and grow my career. And I set, and this was several years ago, but I set salary expectations on myself, and I wanted to make a certain amount of money, and I really worked really hard until I made that amount of money. And then I set another goal and made that amount of money, and on and on and on. And so with great responsibility, with great responsibility comes a lot of responsibility. It takes a lot out of you. And so much that I put myself into, and all that. And so I was making a lot of money, and I feel like God blessed me with that. And I would do things, whatever, but I worked for it. I worked really, really hard at what I was doing, and God blessed me, I felt, and so, but there were situations that started happening where God needed me to shift. And in order for him to get me to do that, certain things had to happen. And so, I've talked about, 2023 was a hard year. It was a year of crushing and a year of all of these things. And so I went through that, and then 24. So then I changed jobs. I left that company. I've been there for a long time, made a lot of money, and was responsible over a lot of people, and just doing all the things, and went to a different job, and they didn't pay me as much, and so it was kind of a gradual thing where I made a little bit less and then a little bit less, and it just was kind of how the structure was. And so uh it ended up where my salary changed $40,000, y'all, less. I was making 40,000 less than what I had been making. And but but even bring this up to say is because God has a plan, and you have to get where he wants you to be. And so that was the beginning of that shift where he needed to get me in position. He needed to have me where he needed me. And sometimes that looks different than what we think. That looked like the opposite of success to me at first, because that's what it's around us all the time of, this is what success looks like, and this is what, you have to make this much money to be successful, and blah blah blah. And um so all of those things were happening for a reason, and God was shifting some things in me because he knew he had some other things for me to do. And uh so now, um so back to this morning, I was as I was driving and praying, wasn't even thinking about this at all, because life is amazing. God has more than blessed me, and everything is, it's just a blessing. And so he has always made a way, and blessings are coming in my life financially and every other way. And so uh but when I was uh this morning, just so sweetly how God can be, he reminded me, he said that, you talking about me, I was depending on my job to meet my needs and not him. So this is such a transparent moment, because nobody wants to talk about other money, especially when you lose $40,000 in your salary, right? And so, but he said, you were depending on your job, and you were depending on you to meet your needs, and to do the things that you wanted. And I'm a giver. I love to give, and I love to bless people and do things, and all of those things. And so it it changed some of that. And so uh I was feeling really some type of way about that. And so, but he said, you were depending on you to meet your needs, and you were depending on you for uh, the things that you needed. And now, uh, I've blessed you with an amazing job. It's something that you love to do. You have potential to earn whatever, right? It's such a healthy environment. It's such a blessing when we start our day every day, y'all, with prayer. The team all joins the call. We get to start our day with prayer, with encouragement, appreciation for each other, and it versus a toxic relationship, a toxic environment that I was in before. So this is such a healthy, much more healthy environment. And so uh, I was I was guilty of depending on me instead of God. And so, but he has a plan. And so, um, I know this is such a weird before Christmas type of talk, but or word, but um, we should be thinking about next year. 2026 is knocking on the door, right? And so, um, if we believe that God will meet all of our needs according to His riches, according to His resources and the things that he has available to him, then we stop stressing, we stop freaking out about stuff, and when things look different. And so I did. It was a mental thing. I had to readjust myself in my head, and and uh and really, really start to trust God, and really start to trust that he was working all things together for my good, and he could see the next week, the next month, the next year that was coming. And so, um, not only do I have a much healthier work family, a work team, uh, but it's such a blessing. It's an encouragement. We encourage each other. We help each other, and now God has given me a business to help me grow. And so now, uh, with this other source of income, He's blessing me to be able to help other people and be able to give back, and God is working in that way. And And he was able to tell me this morning that when I will trust him and when I will not lean on my own understanding, then he has the opportunity to bless me, to send people to me that I can bless and help, you know, uh, release their story and get their books out to the world, and finally do the things that they need to do. And so uh, he will be able to more than make up for that deficit, the deficit that I thought there was. If I truly believe that he is, uh, you know, blessing upon blessing, that there will not be room enough to receive, and all of these scriptures that we quote all the time. If I believe that, then that's what I get to walk in, y'all. That's the choice. That's the opportunity that he's given me, is this other thing that I had no idea was even going to happen, a business, a ministry, a help to folks. Um, it's again by doing something that I love, something that he blessed me to be able to do, to understand and work through this process. Um, he will more than make up. So that is where he promised that he would give us back 7 times what the enemy stole. So something that I thought the enemy stole, or something that I thought, because it was such a tumultuous situation, it was very, it felt bad at the time. But now, out of that, I'm starting to see the growth. I'm starting to see the reason. I'm starting to see why God did some of the things that he did in me, through me, for me. All of those things are starting to make a little more sense now. And so I wanted to encourage you that that is a lot of money, but my peace is worth so much more. My ability to mentally be able to do something for God is invaluable to me. To be able to, um, like I said, have people share their story, and I can help package it like it's supposed to be packaged and get it out sooner, quicker, faster, whatever. And uh, so that they, their stuff can be released. And so, um, so sometimes things don't work. They don't look like we thought they would. Like I said, we're climbing the corporate ladder. We're doing all these things, making all this money. For what? For what? What was it costing me? It was costing me my peace. It was costing me uh, a lot of things that I didn't realize. It was starting to affect my reputation in the community. It was starting to affect some of those things, and um, so I had to learn, and I'm still learning, is we have to trust God. He always has a plan, he always has a purpose, and it may not look like we think it's going to look, but he always knows what's best. And so, even sometimes taking a step back, moving into a different direction where it doesn't feel like that is growth, sometimes that is the growth. Where, uh, when now, uh, maybe I've done this before, but when you shoot an arrow, right, you have to pull it back first. You have to pull back the arrow in the bow, and then when you release it, it goes and it flies forward. And that's what 2025 has felt like, is it, in a sense, is that this arrow has been released. And now I'm praying, God, help me to be able to, keep up with what you've got for me. Help me to help me to be ready for what I've been praying for, and be ready for the things that you have for me to do. Give me strength when I work all day, and I've given all day, and I come home, and there's more work to do, that no one really knows about, right? And so, uh, but just like, so many of you on this call, I know, like I mentioned, that you can relate to that. Yeah, but when it's God, and when God, it's an assignment, then um, you 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 just do it. You just do it. Uh, again, I was on the phone for hour and a half last night with an author getting things finished up, and we were uh, finalizing everything and making sure it looked good. And it's excitement. It's you have to keep yourself hyped up, but uh, the Bible says, "In due season you will reap if you choose not to give up." Right? I talked about that last week, and so these are those days. These are those days where you have to choose not to give up. And so I share all that with you to help encourage you that sometimes things do look different than what we think that they're going to or what they should look like. But this is when it takes you to really trust God and trust that process. And, that always sounded cute, "Oh, yeah, trust the process, trust the process." But, um, when you're going through the process, sometimes it's a little harder to understand what's going on and, what's happening. And, if I just know what's happening, then I can understand it, but we don't always get to know that. And so that's why knowing God's voice is so important for days like today. When I'm just driving down the road and he just whispers that to me, he was like, because I wanted to be able to show you that I am the one that blesses you. I give you gifts and talents and passions and callings that that you can do, that your job can be, you know, money for whatever. But this can, you can build a business, or you can build a ministry, or whatever he has. And so um that was a blessing to me this morning when he shared that with me, because I'm starting to see that those things happen. And uh, every need is met, everything is happening. And it doesn't make any sense when you lose that much money. It shouldn't make sense, but it makes more sense now than ever before, because when you are a giver, when you give, the Bible says to give, and it shall be given. Good measure, pressed down, shaking together, so that and it says, good measure, shaken together, shall men give to your bosom. God can use people to bless you. But how sweet that is to have that reminder that that God is the one that blesses us. He blesses us with our health. He blesses us with strength to get up every day and do what we do. And so, but lean not into your own understanding, right? And so I was guilty of that, leaning on my own understanding and doing the things in myself and my own strength, even though I was worshiping God and thanking God and all those things. I still was depending on a salary that I thought I should be making. And God needs to move you back. He needed to move me back, reduce some of my responsibilities so that I could do some of these other things. And so what looked like a demotion really wasn't. It was really a promotion, because now, like I said, I have not as much responsibility. I'm responsible for me, and I have a great team, and I get to do the job I was hired to do, and I love it, and all those things. But whereas before, I was responsible for a whole team of people, like 12, 13, 14 other people reported to me, and I was responsible for all the things they did. And it would drive me crazy when, they were trying to do what they're supposed to, and things weren't working. And it was, it was a lot. And so, uh, God knew that I needed to just focus on me, focus on what I'm supposed to do. And even though it seemed like that, it hurt my pride, it hurt my ego, a little bit. But uh, but I knew that there was a purpose. I knew there was a point for it, and I just had to just trust God. And so those are those things where, so many people you see that are blessed, and they're doing all the things, and it just seems like it's easy. Y'all, it's not always easy. Those are the people that are really putting in the work. And and really going through the process. And um, you know, it's just when you really make time to think about it and think about the blessings and things that God is really doing. Um, I just love how He doesn't leave us hanging. It's like, oh gosh, that's why that had to happen. Now I see it. Now I get it. I didn't at the time. I didn't like it, but now I get it because maybe I would have stayed there forever. Maybe I would have, never done what I'm doing right now if I hadn't shifted and made uh, made that shift or made that change. Change is hard, and so man, I'm so excited, y'all. I want to encourage you guys today that God is faithful, man. He is so faithful. And sometimes it does look different than what we think it's going to look, but He always knows. And it's so exciting to me when the Bible says we cannot outgive God. It's impossible. And so even when we feel like you know it's maybe we feel like maybe we feel like we're given more than what God is, but there's always something happening. And so I really had to change my mindset and my focus to God, thank you for the seeds that I planted. Water those seeds. I pray they were in good soil and they weren't planted on the rock or on the places where they'll spring up and die out, but they're planted in good soil so that they can take root and they can grow, and they can spring up and be healthy, and help them to be watered, and all of those things. And so those seeds are the things that we do, and that we do over and over, and we're consistent with. And so it's such a blessing. I'm so looking forward to 2026. Some of the things God's already been speaking to me about, and you know, just uh, just be feeling blessed in such a good way. This year was everything God promised it would be. Every single thing. He told me that fast track, and it's definitely been that. It's definitely been fast. And he spoke to me and said, you're going to have to know, you're going to have to use your discernment, and you're going to have to make decisions quickly, because it's going to be a fast year. It's going to be fast situations and fast things coming that you can't wait. You got to just trust your gut, trust your discernment, make those decisions, and move forward and keep moving. And that's what I've had to do. And it's really taught me a lot, because I've been pushed out of my comfort zone. I've been pushed to do things that I never thought that I would be doing. And so um, it's been amazing. It's been amazing because trusting God, there's nothing like it. And so I hope that you guys can feel that encouragement coming to you, that uh, it feels like it's time for us to step out and start doing those things that we've only heard about, and stop waiting. Stop waiting. Write that book. Y'all, 4 people put out a book this year, just in the past couple of months. Their stuff's out. What are you waiting on? What are you waiting on to start writing or start doing whatever it is God's told you to do? Maybe it isn't write a book, but uh, but maybe it is. Um, you know, Destiny's on here, and my sister Destiny, she wrote a book this year, and I'm so proud of you. So you already know that, but uh, but what are you waiting on to do that you need to do? 2026 is here, man. And so I just want to encourage y'all so much to step out, do the things that God's called you to do those things that you feel nudged to do, even if you don't understand. Because there's blessings on the other side of our obedience, and there's things so bigger than what we think. We're I've been guilty of waiting for God to open a door when I have the ability. I'm standing at the door. I just have to reach out and turn the knob and open it. Um, because I have to put myself out there, right? I have to walk in rooms that maybe I haven't walked in before. I have to walk in rooms that I didn't feel like I was qualified to walk in. But I have to do that with my knees knocking and a little bit unsure, because that forces me to grow. It forces me to learn new things that I didn't know before. And it forces me to figure it out. And so, because the passion and the things that God has for me to do uh, can help other people, and so that's the ways God can bless us, is through other ways that we didn't even know about. If you had told me the Thom of 2025 or 2024 on this day, December the 23rd of 2024, if you had told me that I would be doing the things that I'm doing, I would not have believed you. And and now I'm getting to do those things, and um, it just is incredible that God has allowed me to do it. I pinch myself all the time that this is happening, and so like I said, I want to encourage you to step out, push forward. It doesn't matter what it looks like, because I saw something a few months ago that said something about, um, you have to look foolish in order to do certain things. It may look foolish to other people, but so what? So what? Uh, do it anyway. There are going to be people that don't understand why you do what you do, but that's okay. It's not their assignment. So uh, be thinking about that as you're praying for. I know that with Pastor Kim, we've been talking about our word for 2026, and I don't know if any of you guys have gotten your word yet, but Facebook, I can't see any comments. So if y'all are commenting, maybe that's a plus, because I can't see them. But so if that's why, if you're saying something, I can't see you. But I do love y'all, and thank you for being with me on today. Um, but do you have your word? If not, keep praying. Keep praying. Maybe it'll come, later on. Who knows? But God's been speaking to me some amazing things for 2026, and I'm so excited, because I just know there are bigger and more things that God has for all of us to do, and He just is waiting for us to really trust and really, really step out. Like you said, put yourself in those situations where He can bless you, and step into those rooms where He can give you the opportunity to be blessed and have conversations with different people. And so uh, it just blows my mind uh, that all of these things are happening. And it just is. It's those moments where it kind of catches me, and I just say, God, thank you so much uh, uh, for blessing me, allowing me to be able to do this, giving me the strength to do this stuff, and and uh, and helping me to get past people pleasing and over what other people think. And that's a big thing, because people may not understand, like I said, but uh, doing it anyway. And so who knows what God's going to do from here, but it's going to be good. It's going to be big. It's going to be all the things. And I'm going to learn so much. Um, and you will too. So step out, do the things. What's He asking you to do? Do it afraid. Like I said, put yourself in those rooms where, we always talk about God's going to put our name in rooms that our feet haven't walked into yet. And God's going to do these things, but also God's going to give us the opportunity to walk into those rooms. And we have to walk in like God sent us there. We have to walk in with the boldness that He has us there. Y'all, I face all sorts of people all day, every day. And people that, they have attitude sometimes, and so I have to go in there with that confidence that I know what I'm doing, and I have to go in there with the confidence of, they need what I have, and so, but when you do it the right way, it's there's a sweetness to it, and you're not doing that. So, um, put yourself in those situations, walk in those rooms that you would have been afraid to, have conversations and join conversations that are different than what you had been having before in the past, because that's how you grow, that's how you learn. And something God had spoken to me a long time ago, uh, that when you walk in some of those rooms and you step in and you start having conversations, uh, and you start joining conversations, it's you may not even understand, but you will start adding to those conversations, and you will start confirming some things to the people around you that you thought was so high and mighty, so to speak, or so smart, or so whatever. But God will use you to speak something that will confirm to them, and they will confirm some stuff with you, and it's this exchange of of confirmation that will blow both of your minds. And so that's what I'm looking forward to in 2026, is boldly stepping into to atmospheres and rooms and situations that may be too big for me. But if 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 it fits, there's no room for growth. The bigger the room, the bigger the atmosphere, the bigger whatever, the bigger there is an opportunity to grow. And uh, if uh, you know, all kinds of things will only grow to the capacity that they're allowed to, right? A plant, um, that root will grow and grow and grow, and then becomes root bound, right? Because it's literally taken up every bit of space that there is. But if you take that and plant it into a bigger pot, right? Fresh soil that's fertilized and good, then it can grow. It can go stronger. And so that's just like what we are. And there's lots of, animals that probably are like that. Um, and so fish or whatever, if you keep them in a small tank, they'll stay, the dimensions of whatever. So, I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready to be in a bigger environment. Yes, it's scary. Yes, it seems like, ugh, I don't know if I can do this. Um, but God gives us opportunities, and He will open those doors. But again, we have to walk in. I One of our puppies, she's 2, and so she's a little more hyper. Uh, she's ready to get up in the mornings, and she's ready to start playing and doing all the things. And the older one, she knows the drill, right? She likes it in bed. So she gets up when she's supposed to. But the puppy is going, and so this morning I said to her, I opened one of the doors, and because I was showering, so I had the doors closed, and so one of the doors I opened, and I said, "The door's open, so go, find a toy or go do whatever." And it was just that as soon as it came out of my mouth, I felt the Holy Spirit speak to me about that, y'all. And He said, "The door's open. The door's open, so you just have to walk through it." You have to walk through that door with the boldness and the tenacity that whatever's in that room that's bigger than you are, that you're ready for it, and that it's growth, and it's excitement, and it's going to not only help them, but it's going to help you. See, it's not about what they can do for you just because the space is bigger. It's you were sent there for a reason and a purpose. And so you have something to add to it, even though it's bigger than what you are. And so that gets me fired up. That gets me excited, because yes, those big environments and those big rooms and those big situations and big opportunities can be scary, and they can be overwhelming. Uh but everything that's for you will be yours. And if it's not for you, then it's not going to happen. So so that helps me, that brings me right down to say, okay, God, I'm going to get in this room. It is bigger than me. This situation feels bigger. These people know more than I do. okay, let's go. Help me to not say something too stupid. Help me to be, you know, be me. Help me to be the me that you created me to be, God, so that I can be authentic and I can walk in this room and I can say what you sent me here to say. And maybe it does need to be flipped up a little bit and things need to be, shifted around. We need to play musical chairs and whatever. But do that. So 2026, let's go, y'all. Let's get in those rooms. Let's get in those situations. Let's put ourselves in those situations that the door's open to. Now you can't force your way in, but if the door is open and you're supposed to go in there, then get your butt in there and do what God has called for you to do. Be that, that freshness that needs to be in there. And like I said, confirmation back and forth, that's the flow, that's the flow that God wants, is for us to, like I said, be bold and to be able to allow him to flow through us. And like I say this a lot: God, help me to hear what you want me to hear, help me to see what you want me to see, and help me to say what you want me to say. And 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 then I walk in those rooms and I try to do that, and and be a blessing to people, and say, okay, God, I'm ready. 2026 is my year. I'm going to grow. I'm going to step out. I'm going to do that. I'm going to open that daycare. I'm going to start this business. I'm going to, you know, put myself out there and get in a relationship. I'm going to write that book, write that, whatever it is, start a podcast, start a newsletter, start a, whatever it is. I'm going to apply for that new position in my company that I don't know for sure if I'm even qualified for, but I'm going to put myself out there, God, because I want to grow. I want to learn. I want to do the things that you have and see where this takes me. And so, 2026, y'all, it's time. It is time. It's time for us to do this. We have to stop sitting here being complacent and not doing the things that God has called us to do. And so I don't know if y'all are feeling that, but I feel that so much is we have to keep going. We have to keep pushing and just trust God. You've heard me talk a lot about, Peter getting out of the boat and all the scenarios I can think of to use. But I want to be so far out of the boat that I can't even see the boat anymore, because I'm trusting God and doing the things that he says, even if I don't understand. And so, what is it that God is wanting you to do or been telling you to do that maybe you haven't done it yet? You haven't felt strong enough. You haven't felt bold enough to do it. Well, here you go. Here's your confirmation that it's time. It's time to do those things. And God will reward our obedience. And even if we don't understand, he will reward it. He will go before us. He will protect us. And he will guide our steps if we trust him, and we will let him. If we'll stop leaning on our own understanding, then he can teach us. In all our ways acknowledge him, and he will direct our path. And so there's a process to that. And so I'm excited, y'all, for 2026. And I'm excited that all the things I know God's doing in your lives, I get to talk to some of you, and it's just so exciting that, to see the growth in all of us, the things that God is doing that we never would have thought. But he has a plan, he has a purpose, and it's time. It's time for us to do that. And so I'm so excited, like I said, to just be experiencing these things, and just know that God's got more coming, and he's going to do some stuff in all of our lives that we never even dreamed possible. And man, let's go. So I love y'all so much. I'm praying for you guys. I know that this can be a hard time of the year, and there's a lot going on. I get that. I really do. And the holidays make it weird, and there's people that are really sad and depressed and all of that. But God has given us so much to be thankful for. And so be blessed, be encouraged, be strengthened. And I love y'all, like I said, and I'm thankful. Thank you for spending some time with me today. And I really pray that something I shared today really blessed you and confirmed something. That I really pray that you all receive some confirmation today on some stuff. And so take care of yourself, get some rest. The holidays are a lot, like I said, and there's a lot going on, but take care of yourself and just notice the things that God's doing, the blessings, the those little whispers that He'll give us, and allow us to just feel Him, uh, and just be blessed. So y'all, I love you, praying for you, be blessed, and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. And I pray you have a fantastic rest of your week, and stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye, TikTok. Love y'all. Be safe.